Printemps arabe.
The Arab Spring, Indignados, the revolution in Iceland, Occupy Wall Street, the Indigné movement, and many others. The year that we have just seen saw many different protest movements in dealing with various types of economic and political problems. What is the link with Rio+20, you might ask? I will tell you it is the cause of the problems, which is you, me, and all of us. We continue to associate our needs with superlatives. We always need to have the newest cell phone, the newest car, the most benefits. We always need to have more. Our maximalist vision of needs has led us to the economic system that we live in today, neoliberal capitalism, which has pushed us to the extreme. But although our perceived needs continue to increase, the capacity of our planet to respond to the needs has continued to decrease, and our people are lacking more and more. But how can we reconcile this maximum with a world that has limited resources? We have looked at the issue from various views, but the response is the same, that it is impossible. And that doesn't mean that it will be impossible, for example, to feed the millions of people who don't have enough to eat in the world, or to grant a decent life to the billions of people who live below the poverty threshold, or to preserve our ecosystem. No, what I mean is that our use of non-renewable natural resources is out of proportion and it is unequal, and that the ongoing degradation of our environment is intolerable. We might have the impression that this has been said thousands of times, but that the major changes that we want to see do not happen. The environment and environmental awareness began among the most well-off populations, but major political decisions are rare. The issue of the environment began to be of concern to us only in the 70s, and the concept of sustainable development for its part is even more recent. It appeared in 1987. This concept, however, is the key to the survival of our planet and of the human race. Development that responds to the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Unfortunately, there's too often a mix-up between development and growth. We always need more. Although we claim that we are acting to preserve our planet and future generations, we refer to the same indicators and we are working within the same economic system. This is perfectly logical, is it not? On the other hand, our leaders are called upon to act at the international level and cannot reach agreements. Attempts such as the Kyoto Protocol are seen as failures today. In spite of how urgent the environmental problem is, this issue is not dealt with by the leaders of our governments at the international level. Economic and geopolitical interests win out over the survival of our planet. No one wants to make concessions or to refrain their maximalist instincts for the sake of our planet. The technological progress that people have been capable of achieving in previous decades show that we are indeed in a position to find solutions to our overconsumption, to the problems of how we deal with nature, and to having a better distribution of resources. But we need to make more efforts in these areas. We need to stop focusing on the best ways to make profits and try to guarantee a sustainable future for our children, enable them to have the same access to natural diversity that we have had. This requires that people be willing to act, people and states. Unfortunately, it must be noted that we now have the habit of reacting to shocks. But given the scale of the changes that we want to undertake, do we need to wait until a new catastrophe happens? How many people must die before we become aware of how urgent this problem is? Would a disaster really be the best way to make this issue something that is fashionable to deal with? Electoral campaigns in recent years have repeated that we do have the means, that we can carry out changes. But let us not focus on our capacity, let us show our will. Let us stop the general hypocrisy and face problems. Let us put an end to the summits and the conferences where we decide to take decisions later. Yes, we can, but today we need to prove that we want to, and let us act. Yes, we want. Thank you.